What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the LTQ Wrestling Crew channel. We're going to be talking about the go-home Raw before WrestleMania. There's some good stuff on the show. Some stalling. Obviously, WrestleMania is this weekend. It's exciting, but there's been a lot of weeks to build up for WrestleMania. It's hurt some matches. It's been good for others. So let's get into it. So Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman start off, the main event segments. And Roman Reigns asks Paul Heyman, "Why did you betray me?" And the crowd's chanting, "You effed up," and Heyman takes a while to reply. And he finally says, "It was not a betrayal. I paid back a favor I owed." And he says that very just annoyed, like, why can't you understand this? I owed Punk a favor. I got to go through with it. And Reigns, at Sacramento, the way favors work, you usually pay them back yourself. Talking about how he didn't want anybody on his War Games team, how he don't ask anybody for favors. And now he has to cash or pay the tab that Paul Heyman made and everything. And Rollins music hits, and he says he still needs to end Paul Heyman before WrestleMania. If Reigns or Punk win this match, it's horrible for the industry. The industry dies. It's the most important triple threat in WrestleMania history. He mentions Reigns as part-time. He only shows up on his convenience. He expects somebody else to do his dirty work for him, all that other stuff. And then he mentions Punk quitting on the fans, quitting on the company. He don't want that to be the future of the industry. And he mentions that the business pretty much dies if either one of them guys win. And he says favors don't happen by chance, they happen by choice. And he mentions Paul Heyman chose to be by CM Punk's side at WrestleMania. It was a choice. And, he mentions that he's choosing Punk over Roman Reigns. That's the choice he's making. And Roman Reigns says, "You know what? He's right." And pretty much talking about Rollins. He said, "You made your choice, I made mine." And he takes out Rollins, and then he looks at Paul Heyman, and he pushes him down. And Paul Heyman looks terrified. And out comes CM Punk. His music hits, and he gets into a brawl with Roman Reigns. And Punk takes out Reigns. He goes to check on Heyman. Reigns pops back in the ring, spears Punk, and then Rollins, from behind, deja vu moment, has a steel chair, hits Roman Reigns in the back, deja vu to the betrayal of the Shield, and then he curb stomps both Punk and Roman Reigns to stand tall on the final Raw before WrestleMania. Really good segment, great continuing of the build before this match. And the biggest intrigue for this match is who is Paul Heyman going to walk out with at WrestleMania? Like, there's still a lot of intrigue with that, I think, and we're going to have to see. I mean, it's a possibility he walks out with Rollins, but it's also a bad thing that Rollins stood tall to end the show, because usually when they do that, that means that person isn't winning. Could be wrong about that, but that's what they've done in the past. This segment was awesome. These three guys have done a tremendous job of building up their match heading into WrestleMania, and I can't wait to see the match. So we had Gunther kick off the show, pretty much just hyping up the match with Jay. He said he's been a champion 80% of the time. Jay's full of crap. Says he's been a gift to WWE. Says he loves being in full control, and he will drown Jay in Jimmy's blood once again. And saying he will walk out of WrestleMania still world champion. That's all there was for that segment. I mean, there's not much else they can do for this feud at this point. Either you're into the feud, either you're not. I've been 50-50 on it. I do like the Jimmy inclusion in the story, but other than that, I have not really enjoyed the build-up. So hopefully the match lives up, but I got to see some more moves out of Jay, because he has not been doing a lot of moves. We had Bayley against Liv Morgan. Not a bad match at all. It ends after Liv goes for the Oblivion. Lyra Valkyria takes the fall, or blocks it, I think, and then Bayley hits the roll-up. Raquel did try to put Liv's foot on the rope. I don't know if it was really Raquel's fault or they were too far away from the rope, but she didn't get her foot on the rope at all. The crowd was like kind of laughing at that. And Bayley gets the win by the roll-up, heading into the WrestleMania Tag Team title match. And that's really all there was there. We had Rey Mysterio against Julius Creed. Fun match. Crowd was really into it. Both these guys very impressive. Rey at 50-plus years old, still going strong in the ring. And it ends with El Grande. He comes out, tries to distract Rey. Rey takes him out, hits a 619 for the win. And then El Grande attacks Ray, and him and Julius take out the LWO to stand tall. And El Grande Americano and Julius Creed close out the match here. We had Karrion Kross surprisingly in a match, and I don't even remember the last time Bro was even in a match on Raw. It was good to see him though. Haven't seen him in a minute on Monday Night Raw in a match. And Styles wins. Both guys looked impressive. Logan Paul comes out after the match, says, that's awesome. We're going to cook at WrestleMania. And then he shows a video package and he attacks AJ after, takes him out with his new finisher. And that's how we build that match heading into WrestleMania. And the final things before the main event segment we talked about start off the video, Jey Uso has a segment. Not much really here. He said he's locked in for the family, for himself, for fans, and he's crashing out. He says Gunther is afraid that Jey will beat him in front of 30,000 people at WrestleMania. And he says he will walk out world champion. And that's it for this segment. He has a new neck tattoo now, which, we know the Samoan family, the more tattoos you get, the more higher up in the family tree you are. So that's cool to see Jey continue to add. I think he has one to the side of his neck, right. I'm doing a bad job of showing it, but you guys will see it if you see the segment. So final thing, we had Penta against Finn Balor, back and forth match. It didn't go on too long. Carlito and Dom tried coming out to distract Penta, and Finn tried taking advantage. Braun Breaker's music hits. Finn looks shocked. Carlito's standing in the same spot he stood last week, and he just looks terrified. And even Michael Cole's like, Carlito, you were there last week. You know what happened. So Carlito gets out of there. And Braun hits a double spear after he attacks Finn for the DQ, takes out Judgment Day, and goes for one on Penta. Penta dodges it, does a dive onto everybody, and Penta stands tall to end this segment. This is another match I'm curious who's going to win, because you can make a case for all four of these guys being the winner, but who needs this win the most? I think Finn honestly needs to win the most here, but we'll be doing WrestleMania 41 predictions, me and QJ, so I'll get into more of that in the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the Go Home Raw before WrestleMania this week. Make sure to like and subscribe for more LTQ Wrestling Crew content. Peace.